Let me also unplug this so that... Who put the freaking hoodie on me? I'm already melting. Why must you melt me even more? Let me unplug this so that I do not get stupid stuff. There we go. Why? Why Sky? Now you're melting? Wow. I'm having a meltdown, guys. Teehee.
Ancient China. The sun is shining.
I love that they're
birds
just
are
playing.
singing.
See, the bird is singing in Chinese now. Teehee.
The children are playing in the village square.
Yay!
What a wonderful time to be alive.
Yeah!
Hey, the Yellow River flooded again and destroyed all your crops.
No!
And also we're being raided by nomadic tribesmen. And also this period of Chinese history may be entirely mythical, meaning you may not even exist. Well, that would certainly explain the laser eyes.
Wait a second! Wait. What do you mean it may not even be mythical and not exist? What? I need more information. Giba.
Chinese civilization began around the year 2000 BC when the possibly mythical Xia dynasty was formed. Throughout China's history, dynasty...
Why possibly mythical? What they mean by that? What do they mean by that? I must have more information. There's not proper recorded history? Interesting.
These would usually rise up with a powerful leader who worked for the good of the people. But over time, the leaders would become more corrupt and self-serving. Someone would inevitably build a...
But my lollipop! Word of mouth mostly. I want back my lollipop! He took lollipop! And jump some meat.
Of alcohol, and the angry populace would overthrow them, giving way for a new dynasty to rise. Following this pattern, the Xia dynasty was replaced by the Shang, who liked bronze and writing, but then the leaders got corrupt, and were replaced by the Zhou, who liked iron and philosophy. But that one sort of just fell apart, and was replaced by the Qin, who liked building walls and people made out of rock. But they were pretty tyrannical from the start, and were quickly replaced by the Han, who liked creating new trade routes and...
Why does every single time a new dynasty arise, it changes the territory that it takes? What's happening with that?
Getting in touch with their emotions. In line with this pattern, the Han dynasty came about under the strong and popular leadership of Emperor Gaozu. The dynasty remained firmly in place for...
That was the idea behind the expansion. Well, they sometimes expanded and sometimes not. Slow integration, I see.
...over 4 centuries, and was considered a golden age in Chinese history, developing new forms of art, political thinking, technology. Oh, looks like all the...
I love that! They got a fidget spinner back then! My goodness, they were really good at technology.
leaders got corrupt. See, probably the biggest problem in ancient China's political system that allowed so much corruption to come about all the time was a little something called court culture. Let me explain. Imagine for me, if you will, that you are the son of the Chinese emperor. Hooray! Now, apart from how weird it is that you have a ton of stepmoms and many of them would like to kill you, and also all of your friends are middle-aged dudes with no dongs, life's pretty alright. One day, your father says, "Son, I know our relationship hasn't been the best, and I've never said this before, but I just want to let you know that I love you." Oh no, I'm having a heart attack! Look at you. Now you're the emperor. I'm so proud of you. But wait, you are but a child and have no idea how to rule over a massive empire. Fret not, because just about everyone in your court wants to help you out with that. Hey man, remember me? I'm your mom's bro. Anyway, I heard you needed someone to rule over China for you. I mean, to help you rule China. So hey, here's a popsicle. I hope we can get along. No way, man. We've been your friends and your personal caretakers your whole life. And even though we may have no dongs, I think you should give up.
Sorry for Empress? Yeah! I should be the Empress of the world! Let's do that.
Us hold the power to rule China. I mean, help you rule China. So who will you be?
I love how everyone's
your
that.
scheming uncle
help.
or your loyal eunuchs? And towards the
Hey, but the uncle gave a popsicle! I want a popsicle. I would go with the uncle. He gives a popsicle. Well, it's an ice cream. It's still tasty.
end of the Han Dynasty, a string of child emperors allowed more and more power to fall into the hands of the eunuchs. Oh no, now they're scheming too! They began handing out government jobs for bribes, heavily taxing the poor for their own wealth. And while you're sitting there eating your popsicle, everyone in your court is literally murdering each other to try and consolidate more power and riches for themselves.
I got a peach pop in the fridge. Oh, that sounds so tasty! I watch Game of Thrones. I don't trust it. But the popsicle!
All the peasants are outside like, hey, did you guys know there's been a drought out here for 2 years?
Oops.
Guys, Obviously, the
Nah.
people weren't too happy that while they were struggling to survive, they were also being heavily taxed so that the eunuch faction could all have rockin' mansions, complete with swimming pools and
Makes
Alexas.
sense.
So
But I
finally,
want the
when a
swimming pool.
self-proclaimed Taoist wizard came along and was like, you know whose
Wizard!
fault it is that we're all out here starving? It's the emperor and his posse. They've lost their mandate from heaven, and the imperial family must be destroyed with an unrelenting...
The heavens has spoken! The people must take over. No more emperor. It's our time to rise.
furious wrath.
Yeah.
Also, check this out. Huh? Can you tell what it is yet? Ta-da! It's a little kitty cat.
Cute.
Look at her little ears. The people loved his political philosophy. He promised them land reforms, and his followers grew in number. They began arming themselves and wearing yellow turbans. And they also developed a really catchy slogan. In the year one...
Wait. The catchy
arming
slogan.
themselves and wearing yellow turbans. And they also developed a really catchy...
The azure sky is already dead. The yellow sky will soon rise. Huh? Why they want to destroy blue of the sky? Blue nice, blue pretty. I'm blue. Would they overthrow me because I'm blue? I don't think I wanna be an empress anymore, guys. I think they would overthrow me because I'm blue. Yeah, that's my decision.
slogan. In the year 184, the Yellow Turban Rebellion broke out across China, with millions rising up against the Han Dynasty, and the imperial government in the capital city freaked out. With all their internal bickering,
I'm yellowish brown, I should be watched for? No way, you cannot overthrow me, potato! You're a potato! It has something to do with the Chinese emperor being like a god. Yeah, No, potato, stop scheming! You can't do this.
they were completely unprepared and unable to deal with such a huge rebellion. So they
Imagine
were forced
that
to
actually
call on
happened.
independent warlords from across the empire to help them deal with this situation. Some big names took part in the fighting. I'm talking the likes of the great Cao Cao, the tyrannical Dong Zhou, Liu Bei, Sun Jian, and many other Chinese names I'm definitely not pronouncing correctly. These warlords crushed the rebellion in their own respective regions, and with casualties in the
yay, they can't
millions,
overthrow
the
me
Han
now.
Dynasty breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Phew.
But what they didn't realize is that by relying on all the warlords and their armies, they had essentially diminished their own central control over the empire. And many of the warlords now held the power to act almost completely independently and rule over their own local regions themselves. Back in the capital, the emperor
That's always good when you split the control over a country. It always worked very well for everyone, right? It never had an issue in the history. Never. It always was very good, happy ending for everyone.
and his son were having a little chat. Listen, I know we've had our ups and downs, and I spend all of my time with your many smoking hot stepmoms instead of you. But what say you and I finally go on a little fishing trip together this weekend? Oh no, I'm having a stroke!
How do they always get a heart attack or a stroke whenever they are about to talk with their children? This is hilarious. Like, be hilarious. We have been defeated. The war is lost. We must accept the new lord. A little potato is gonna be emperor. No. Poor kids. Yeah, poor kids. Every time, maybe it's the kids. Look, there is a parallel to draw. Every single time their father tries to talk with a kid, the father dies. Maybe they should not speak to the kids. Or the hot step... No. The hot stepmoms never caused any deaths. Talking with their sons did. The hot... No. You cannot put the fault on the hot stepmoms. They are hot and they're stepmoms. Actually, now I can be... There we go.
And yet another child emperor was on the throne. This time, however, instead of the eunuch faction gaining even more power, this child emperor's uncle became his regent, who also just so happened to be the head of the imperial army.
Stepmoms and potatoes. No, potatoes no. What's common between the two? Both can smoke. Oh, I love this potato. Yes, both can be smoking hot. Let's go. I love it.
Hujin. Man, I hate those sneaky, lying, cheating eunuchs.
evil.
Hey, Warlord Yuan Shao. what should we do? Kill them all.
Yeah! That's
Right
a bit
on.
radical.
You can't kill the eunuchs. They're a vital part of this empire's governance.
Yeah!
And also, they paid me a lot of money to say that about them. Ah, come on! No! So He Jin and Yuan Shao decided the empress may need more
but they are
convincing.
scheming
And so they
evil.
called in an infamous, feared, tyrannical, overweight warlord from the northwest.
Why is he... Okay, why overweight must be the part of this? Is it because he would be rolling over all of his enemies? I'm sorry.
To help convince her. That man was Dong Zhou, and he set out for the capital city with his army. Hey guys, I heard a rumor that He Jin was planning on killing us. Then why don't we kill him first? And so it was. They lured him
Makes
to the
sense.
palace with a forged letter from his sister, and when he got there, they lobbed off his head.
No! Hi, Dharma. Welcome. Happy to see you. Rank achieved. Oops.
Kill them all. Imperial forces
Yep,
stormed the
makes
palace,
sense.
and the eunuchs were all massacred. The
Okay,
peasants,
the
who were
oily
still
men.
suffering from drought and starvation, saw what was going on and began to riot. The emperor and his
Makes
brother were
sense.
forced to flee the city, which was now in flames. And the
Oops.
feared, nasty, tyrannical, bloated Dong Zhou had just arrived.
Bloated.
He found the emperor and his brother wandering the hills outside of the city
Wow.
and was understandably confused. So he scooped up the emperor, went to the capital and was like, "Hey guys, what's up? I see the capital is on fire. Also, I'm here with my army and I have the emperor with me." Wait a minute. The capital is on fire. I'm here with my army, and I have the emperor. Screw you guys. I'm in charge. So
yeah,
now Dong.
I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's like, I'm here with my army and I am the emperor. Of course I'm in charge now. Screw everyone else. Yeah, makes sense. Why the oily man? That I don't know.
Zhou ruled over the Han Dynasty as the emperor's regent. His first
Of
act
course
was
he
to
did.
say to the emperor,
I
"Hey
feared
man,
to ask.
no hard feelings, but I like your little brother better, so I'm actually making him emperor instead of you, so you're free to go do whatever you want."
That's actually an interesting way because normally the older one is the one who takes over.
Actually,
Oh,
yeah, that feels better. Dong Zhou ruled
I guess he didn't want it to have an enemy just roaming a country and possibly maybe coming back to kill him. Can understand the logic.
with an iron fist, and he did whatever the flip he wanted. He made absolute
Iron
decisions
fist.
himself, showing no regard for the monarchy. He had his opponents or those who disagreed with him killed. He broke protocol, doing things like
Makes
keeping
sense.
his sword when approaching the emperor, wearing shoes in the court, sleeping in the emperor's bed, and worst of all, he would walk in the presence of the emperor. You were meant to trot. The other warlords around the empire
This
hated
is
him, and so
awful.
they said, "Something needs to be done about this guy."
How dare he disobey all those rules? Very disappointing.
What say we form a coalition and oust him? And it was agreed. Warlords from across China, their armies amounting to 100,000 men, allied together against the tyranny of Dong Zhou.
Makes sense.
Yuan Shao's coalition consisted of some of the nation's most capable leaders, including his half-brother Yuan Shu, the great Cao
Oh.
Cao, and Sun Jian. But
Cao
Dong Zhou had
Cao.
an ace up his sleeve.
Ciao Ciao! I'm sorry, I know that it's not Ciao Ciao, but I see the CAO and it's Ciao Ciao!
His protege and adopted son, one of the most skilled and feared warriors in all of China. It's Lu Bu. This guy was a beast of a man. He never lost a duel, and no other warlord dared challenge him to one. He was also famous for betraying just about every warlord he ever fought for, something that Dong Zhou didn't seem too concerned about. The coalition attacked Dong Zhou in Luoyang, and in particular, Sun Jian's forces inflicted a heavy defeat against him, and he was forced to
Oh.
flee to the city of Chang'an. After this initial success, however, the war entered into a stalemate. The warlords in the coalition realized it was going nowhere, and also they all secretly hated each other. So they all went home.
Of course
Dong
they hate
Zhou
each other.
was safe. Until... Legend has it that a government official in Chang'an had a daughter who was hot. Super hot. He invited
Aw.
Lu Bu to his home and promised Lu Bu that someday he could marry his daughter.
The hot
Then
girl
he
comes
invited Dong
in.
Zhou to his house and did the exact same thing. Dong Zhou was so smitten that he insisted on taking her as his concubine immediately. And when Lu Bu heard the news, he was pretty unhappy. Hey man, aren't you worried that you stole Lu Bu's girl and betrayal is like his personal hobby? Lu Bu? Betray me? No way, man. Never gonna happen.
I mean, you're taking his girl though.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't take a girl from a guy who is a good warrior and betrays people. You don't do that, man.
Crap. Lu Bu, along with other government officials, assassinated the tyrannical Dong Zhou. Then they left his body burning in the
Ooh.
streets. Some sources say he was so fat and oily, he kept on burning for days. Nice.
Ew! Ew! I hate it! No! Oh, that's awful. Oh, that is absolutely awful. No, the grilled bacon. No, that's... I don't... Me no likey. Me no likey the thought of that. Ew!
So with Dongzhou dead, and the power of the Han government essentially decimated, China was left with a huge power gap,
Oops.
and a ton of warlords who all slept soundly at night
Yep.
dreaming of being the one to fill it. Here we
Yep.
enter into a crazy and chaotic period of civil war all across China,
Oh
with
boy,
so
yeah,
many
makes
people,
sense.
so much betrayal, so much intricacy, it makes Game of Thrones look like a Dr. Seuss.
Can you imagine a Game of Thrones but about the Chinese Civil War? Extra crispy slices? No! That would be interesting.
Publication. But just to give you an idea of how crazy and chaotic it was, see if you're able to keep up with this. Are you ready? Here we go. Here's a rough map of the warlords throughout the Han Dynasty at the time. Half-brothers Yuan Shao and Yuan Shu were both in a power struggle for who would become the figurehead of their family.
Okay.
Yuan Shu made alliances with warlords in the north,
Okay.
along with Sun Jian, the guy who defeated Dongzhou.
Okay.
Yuan Shao also made alliances with Liu Biao in the south and Cao Cao,
Okay.
who was an amazing strategist and general.
Okay.
All of these warlords began fighting each other. Cao Cao began
Okay.
building his own strength by subjugating nearby
Okay.
remnants of the Yellow Turban Rebellion into his own forces. Down south, things weren't going so
smart.
well for Sun Jian, as he was killed in an ambush. So Sun 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 Ce took over. Then Yuan Shu got pushed back to the river Huai, so he ordered
Okay.
Sun Ce to take the territory of warlord Liu Kang. Then
Okay.
Sun Ce went off to capture territories in the east for himself.
Okay.
Cao Cao's family lived in this province over here. One day,
Uh-huh.
they were murdered. Oh no!
No!
Cao Cao held the province's governor responsible, and so he launched a cruel invasion in which he pillaged cities and
Okay.
murdered over
No joke, they lost money at Yanshu and Chao. So colorful. Yeah, that's my brain. Oh, so many colors. Yay!
100,000 civilians. The governor sent out a call for help, and a very popular, likable warlord by the name of Liu Bei came to his aid. However, while Cao Cao was away fighting, a rebellion was staged against him in his home province by none other
Oops.
than it's Lu Bu.
Oh
Cao Cao
my
rushed home and
God.
defeated Lu Bu, who fled to the east, which by now had been inherited by Liu Bei. Then Lu Bu,
Okay.
surprise, surprise, launched a rebellion against Liu Bei, who fled to Cao Cao. Together, Cao Cao and Liu Bei would go on to invade and defeat Lu Bu. Lu Bu offered to join Cao Cao, and Cao Cao considered the offer. But his advisors were like, no way, man, this guy's betrayed literally everyone he ever worked
Yeah,
for.
that's
And
true.
so
Don't
boo-hoo,
get him,
Lu
don't
Bu
get
was
him.
executed. Next, Cao
Yeah,
Cao
makes
convinced
sense.
the emperor to
He
move in
deserved
with
it.
him. Now he's in control of the Han government, something that
Okay.
made his allies very jealous. Yuan Shu, out of
Okay.
nowhere, decides to declare himself emperor of the new Zhong dynasty.
He's like, haha, you all are fighting. I'm the emperor now. He didn't say that Sun Jian was Sun Tzu's descendant, does he? Oh boy.
Nobody liked that. His allies cut ties with him. The imperial government ordered everyone to kill him. He tried to flee
makes
to his
sense.
brother.
You don't do that. Poor Lu Bu. I mean, hello, good afternoon. Hi, Murasaki. Happy to see you. Yeah, I like the babe because he said that he was likable.
Yuan Shao, but died of illness on the way. Sun Ce took over his territory and then got
Okay.
assassinated. So his brother, Sun Chen, took over. Liu Bei turned on
Okay.
Cao Cao, but got obliterated and was forced to flee south. Yuan Shao finally defeated the warlord to his north and could now
Okay.
focus south. He declared war on his ally Cao Cao, but was defeated at the Battle of Guandu. Cao Cao has now united the north, and he turned his
boy.
attention to the south. In particular, Liu Biao's province was becoming
No,
a powerful
Liu!
threat, so Cao Cao attacked him. Liu Bei was now fighting for Liu Biao, and he held Cao Cao off for a while. But then Liu
Nice.
Biao died, and his son took over, and immediately surrendered to Cao Cao. Liu Bei was horrified, and he fled southward to try and maintain control of the province. Cao Cao was on an absolute roll, and it looked like he
Oh
would be the
boy.
one to take control of China. He began making
But-
plans to attack both Liu Bei and Sun Qian, and the
Okay.
two of them, seeing where things were headed, met up and decided to form an alliance.
Makes sense.
Now I know that was a lot to take in, but all you
Yeah.
really need to know at this point is that this guy is on his way to taking over everything,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah,
about
yeah,
to
yeah.
throw his full weight at the southern warlords. These two
Yeah.
have one chance, one battle, to
Oh
prevent
boy,
him from
just one
invading the
battle.
south. And that battle was the famous Battle of Red Cliffs. To take the south,
Ooh,
Cao Cao
sounds
would need to
cool.
control and cross the mighty Yangtze River. He had over 200,000 men to face against Liu Bei and Sun Qian's combined force of 50,000.
Ooh.
How would they stand a chance when they were
Yeah,
so
yeah,
outnumbered? Legend says most of Sun Qian's advisors pleaded with him to surrender, but then he smashed up a table and they all
He's like, never! Yes, else, we went from Hatsune Miku to War of Three Kingdoms.
back down. Luckily, Cao Cao's forces were ravaged by disease and exhaustion, and his northern soldiers weren't too comfortable on ships. So when Cao Cao sailed...
So basically, seasickness, goddamn. Oh, I love this motion sickness just freaking killing his people. Oh, this is genius.
Down the river, and the two sides met for an initial skirmish at Wulin, Cao Cao was unable to inflict a defeat against the Allies. Then, one of Sun Qian's men came up with a very sneaky plan. He sent Cao Cao a letter, pretending that he and others wanted to defect to his side, and offered to bring him some of Liu Bei and Sun Qian's finest ships. Little did Cao Cao know, however, that those ships were full of flammable reeds. As they approached his fleet, they were set alight and destroyed his ships in camp. Seeing the situation as hopeless, Cao Cao ordered a difficult retreat through the rain and marshlands, during which more of his men fell to illness and disease. The underdogs had won, and Cao Cao would never again have another chance to take the south. Following that, the three warlords took some time to finish off some smaller competitors in their own regions, and by the year 214, China looked a little bit like this. Cao Cao continued to try to penetrate the southern regions, but had no success, and even lost the Hanzhong region to Liu Bei in 217. The former allies eventually fell out.
Wait, Liu Bei is dead! His son... Oh no, Liu Bei was the one who was defeating. Never mind!
For who should own this territory here, with Sun Qian coming out on top. In 220, Cao Cao died of a head disease, and was replaced by his son.
Head disease? Whoops. Maybe he was crazy.
Cao Pi. Cao Pi convinced the Emperor of Han to abdicate, and then proclaimed himself the Emperor of the new state of Wei. Liu Bei followed suit, declaring himself the true Emperor of Shu Han. And a few years later, Sun Qian joined in the fun, and declared himself Emperor of Wu. And so now you have a number of kingdoms in China. How many? Count them. 1, 2, 3. 3 kingdoms. Except, actually, they weren't kingdoms, they were dynasties. And when the 3 kingdoms finally formed, not a whole lot happened. For the next 3 decades, they continued to engage in combat, but it almost always ended in stalemate, and nobody really got anywhere. So how did it all end? Did Cao Cao's descendants eventually realize his dream of unifying China? Not quite. Instead, the 3 kingdoms became victims of the usual problems that plagued Chinese dynasties. In Wu, Sun Qian's descendant became a tyrant, who was more interested in spending time with his concubines than governing. In Shu Han,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If I would be there, I would be also more interested in the concubines than running the country. It's more fun. Come on, who wants to do boring and pay work when you have lots of nice looking concubines next to you? Yeah, that makes sense.
Powerful, corrupt, eunuch faction rose up, and by now we all know how that ends. And in Wei, a string of young emperors gave way for a powerful family, the Sima clan, to take control of the dynasty's government. This Sima clan recognized the weak state Shu and Wu had been reduced to, and so they began making plans. I've just received
I love this plan.
State Shu and Wu had been reduced to, and so they...
This way, then this way, too far. Oh my god, this is beautiful. I love it.
Began making plans. I've just received this letter that says Wei is planning to attack us. Should we make preparations for war? Nah, it's probably nothing to worry about. Let's do absolutely nothing. Sounds good to me. Wei launched a full-scale invasion into Shu, which fell within a year. Then Sima Yan forced the Wei emperor to abdicate and proclaimed himself emperor of the new Jin dynasty. In the year 279, Jin launched an invasion of Wu and finally unified China in the year 280. The pattern of rising and falling dynasties, division, and reunification would continue in China for centuries to come. Right now you may be asking yourself, but wait a minute, what would have happened if Cao Cao had his way and unified China? Or what if Lu Bu never assassinated Dong Zhou and he continued to rule over the Han dynasty? What about if one of these smaller warlords had risen to the top? Dang it, what if I want to be a warlord during the downfall of the Han dynasty? Whoa, partner.
Hey, what if I want to be an emperor? Let me be an emperor.
Calm down, because now you can. This video was brought to you by Total War 3 Kingdoms, a brand new strategy game that combines a gripping turn-based campaign of empire building, statecraft, and conquest with stunning real-time battles. Choose from a cast of legendary warlords and conquer the realm. Unite China under your rule. Forge the next great dynasty and build a legacy that will last through the ages. Recruit heroic characters to aid your cause and dominate your enemies on military, technological, political, and economic fronts. Will you build powerful friendships, form brotherly alliances, and earn the respect of your many foes? Or would you rather commit acts of treachery, inflict heart-wrenching betrayals, and become a master of grand political intrigue? I bet you would. Your legend is yet to be written, but one thing is certain. Glorious.
Wait a minute, there was a history class for promoting a video game? No, this channel in general creates a different history videos. This one just happened to be sponsored by a video game. I have to say that was an amazing way to enter the ad.
Conquest awaits. Buy the game on Steam using my link in the description down below. It would also support my channel and my work massively. So thank you.
Nice! That was a good video! I really liked it. I need that guy to keep doing history classes. I love it. There is tons of history classes for this guy. He has, not tons, but he has quite a bit of videos. I wanna continue along. So this channel, Oversimplified History, has a lot of different videos that I could recommend. Let me... I can send you guys the linky of the video really quick. Oh, wait, can I? I think I can. Yes, I can! There we go. No, I can do it myself too. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you on Friday. Yep. And I love you all. Please take care of yourself. Thank you so much for joining. I know that there was still a bit of scuff. I'm still working on it. It was almost scuffless, so I'm happy about that. I hope to see you soon again. I love you all. And bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.